And I remember I used to sit in my car and I used to knock on doors for like 10,000 dirhams. It was very, very tough. It was emotional. I did cry many, many times, and I'm not ashamed of it. But what I realized is no one's gonna come save you but you.
Mahdi Al Shafiei is a founder, media strategist, and content disruptor behind one of the GCC's most viral agencies. Over 8 million followers, 500 plus daily content drops. He's here to share how to stay relevant, lead Gen Z, and recover from near collapse.
Every company, no matter what they sell, what they provide, needs to ultimately be a marketing company. The theory is the train has taken off. You either jump on it or be left behind. It's up to you. You know? Easy money come, easy money go.
You tried a few things, not always successful. People, they don't see the tough part. They usually think, oh, he has a nice watch or he has a nice car. While you were launching those businesses and failing, was there a time that you thought, that's it, I'm going to give this all up and do something else?
Yes. The last time I was at peace was probably 2 hours ago when I was at Trifid.
It's not important what your past is. What's important is your energy. Today, we want to welcome Mahdi to our show. Welcome, Mahdi. I want to ask you the question that probably most people are afraid to ask. How do you build the biggest content agency in the GCC with the most underestimated group of people, with Gen Zs?
Thanks for having me. Glad to be here. It's such a hard question to answer. Hire fast, fire fast, trust easy, moderate, but believe that they are the ones that shape socials today. So if there's anyone to help you drive it, it's them. There's a misconception that you need experience to lead. You need patience, you need grit, you need an understanding. You need to be able to be adaptable to be able to succeed in this industry. And I genuinely believe every company, no matter what the niche, what industry, what they do, what they sell, what they provide, needs to ultimately be a marketing company.
Needs to ultimately be a marketing company. It's so interesting you say that.
Has to be.
You know, I read a book by Peter Thiel, and he says, Peter Thiel's, founder of, one of the co-founders of PayPal, and he has a huge VC as well. And he was saying he broke down all companies into two companies. He says they're either tech companies or they're marketing companies. And his thinking is all those companies need marketing to be able to do what they're doing in the end. And their main focus is marketing. So further adds to your point, but elaborate on it. Why do you say marketing is for every company? Like, can there be a company that's just old school and says, no, I want to cut out my marketing department?
You can. No one says you can't. But you have to have a substitute and a stronger one. Otherwise, someone else is going to come and replace you. The theory is the train has taken off. You either jump on it or be left behind. It's up to you, And things are constantly changing. If you can't adapt to it, it's your loss. No one's going to come and hold you against it and go like, oh my God, no. You just lose. Someone else comes and wins. So being able to adapt, no matter how old you are, no matter how busy you are, no matter how occupied you are, no matter, will allow you to potentially succeed. And marketing today is being relevant and staying relevant. That's marketing. Social media is no longer social media, it's interest media. Social media used to be the days when you had to send a friend request and you had to poke someone.
Right.
No, those days are gone, right? It's interest media. You will only follow somebody if you are interested in what they are giving out. It's either you're interested to get to know them, to then become sociable, or alternatively interested to follow them to see what they produce so you can consume.
Right.
So it's all about that. So if you're not a marketing company, how are you going to stay relevant?
Sometimes I grew up with a very tough dad. Sometimes we grow up with a dad that doesn't give us everything we want when we're a child. But then later on, we realize that our work ethic has something to do with that. Today, you are who you are. What is that thing that you're still chasing as an approval from your father?
I think I've gotten it. I had a very tough teenage life as well. Everything was restricted. Everything. And I didn't have a very good relationship with my father. And I've said this before as well. I did not like him. I could not stand him. I just did not like the way he was doing what he was doing.
Did you have brothers and sisters at
I
home?
had sisters, 2 sisters, but I'm the youngest. So and I'm the only guy as well in the family, only boy. So I always had difficulties with him, and he just didn't care. He cared, but his way of fatherhood and his way of management was that he didn't care unless he needed to care.
So what was he caring about then?
He was caring about me being disciplined
Mm.
the most out of everything else. And he was like, if you want something, go get it. I'm not going to give you what I did and what I made. What? Just because I had a child, it means I have to support you for the rest of my life? No.
So you started working early then?
I started working when I was 17. I've started sales since I was 17, and I entered the advertising space since I was 19, and I still remember I went up to my dad sold me his car. He sold me his car.
I mean,
It was a Toyota Prado 2001, and I'm like, can I have it? And he had other cars.
yeah.
And he wasn't even here. I'm like, can I have it? He's like, yeah, you can buy it from me. I'm like, okay, I went on Dubizzle. I'm like, okay, so on Dubizzle, it's like 18,000 dirhams.
Yeah.
Can I have it for 10? He's like, no. Why? I know that I took care of my car. You give me 20. And he took it from me in installments, but he took it. And like on the dot, he used to follow up with me like a bank. But it helped me shape me who I am today. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be the person I am.
So discipline.
100%.
And you still like trying to win his approval in any way?
No, I've already won his approval. I think he believes in me now blindly, and I've achieved that. Of course, every day I am trying to get the validation of my parents, because why not? You know, if you don't have that urge in the morning that you wake up to make sure that they are comfortable, satisfied, and happy, then I don't think anything else should be there, right? If it's not your family first.
See, for Middle Easterns, we're definitely on the same vibe. You know, like we don't have old people homes here and stuff. And, you know, I want to go away from that and go back to why go for Gen Z instead of going for people who are probably old in the game?
Okay, I love this question. Instagram, Facebook followed, I'm not going to use the word copied, followed TikTok's algorithm after TikTok made the word viral mean viral.
Wow.
Before TikTok came up with virality, the word viral existed in the dictionary, right? Similarly, before ChatGPT created the word AI, artificial intelligence has been with us for years and years.
Pattern recognition.
Yeah. So ChatGPT made the word AI the AI that everybody talks about today.
The same way TikTok made viral.
Thank you. So what happened was TikTok came and made this whole algorithm of virality. It succeeded. It grew and blew up. Following on that, Instagram cut out IGTV and launched Instagram Reels that followed the same algorithm. Facebook said, hey, I'm not going to miss out. Let me put my Reels together.
Exactly.
YouTube came and said, hold on a second. I'm only doing long format content. Maybe it's time for me to announce Shorts. Launched Shorts. Same algorithm. Snapchat came and said, wait a second. I'm just doing story content that lasts 24 hours. Well, that's no good. Let me have Snapchat Spotlight. LinkedIn recently announced Reels to be able to be uploaded. And. So the pioneer here is TikTok. Who led TikTok? Who made TikTok what it is today? Gen Z. So it comes back to your question. They understand it. They get it. I used to host TikTok workshops in 2018. Brands used to make fun of me and say, why would I want to go on a dancing app for kids?
Exactly.
And I said to them, it's not about being a dancing app. It's about where the attention is.
Wasn't TikTok before it a dance?
No, it was called Musical.ly, where basically, yes, you did do dances and you did do lip syncing and you did all of those content where it was majority of the younger population as opposed to the older ones.
Right.
But slowly it shifted and it changed its path to becoming a more consumer social media platform where people just consume data or visual data or information and spend their time on it. And that data of time being spent on it became so valuable and helped it grow and grow and grow and grow. I'm always chasing where the attention is. And I'm never attached to anything. Today we have 8 million in following total across our platforms, across languages. But I'm not attached to any of them. If everything fades away tomorrow, I know tomorrow something else will come where people will want to pay their attention to.
And you will take that into your...
I want to be a pioneer there. I really wish that day comes. I hope everything just disappears. Because I know as human beings, we have to gather. It's in our blood. It's in our system.
Exactly.
We have to gather. For good, for bad, it is what it is.
It's like all the way from the ancient times.
Yeah, go back. You go back, in religion, in cultures, you always have that day. You gather around, and everybody comes together. They catch up with each other.
Right.
Because that is what it is. And then you had newspapers to read the news. So you gathered around, read the news. Then you had the radio. People used to gather around radio to listen to a football match.
Exactly.
How does today you tell that to someone, you're like, what are you saying? That doesn't even make sense. TV, followed out by, it's just if you look at the chain, it's all about where the attention is.
Exactly.
So for me in 2018 was like, okay, the attention is on TikTok. Let me go towards TikTok. Let me try to be a first mover and have the advantage over everybody else. And I did. And if you go back on our TikTok page, we have posts from in 2018. I highly doubt if you look at companies in the region and you want to find a company since 2018 to help, you will not find many.
So you understood something that many didn't, which is leverage the platform which has the Gen Zs to make marketing content because they're better at content and create a marketing agency.
Yes and no. I didn't start as a marketing agency. So we started as an influencer agency. But I started as an influencer agency where I said I will create content for the influencers and not just do management. Because back in the day, all the companies were just a management company. So they used to answer emails, they used to sell, they used to close. And I'm like, that's not very difficult to do. I mean, you're just receiving whatever.
Yeah.
The hard part, the headache, is the content.
So you took the hardest part.
Yeah,
which is the content.
Yeah, and then all the other agencies back in the day were like, oh, who is this guy? And then they all started and announced and launched their content part in their influencer agencies. Today, I'm still an influencer agency providing campaigns. I don't have many exclusives signed with us, but we do campaigns and projects. 50% of our business is influencer marketing. But we provide it to brands on campaign basis because of the relationships we have. But again, the USP we provide is content. Everything we provide revolves around content. Content is the heart. Everything else comes around.
So out of your business, you'd say half of it is for influencers.
Yeah, 50%
you
is...
do like the editing and everything.
From revenue, so we go to we provide brands campaigns, you're running a launch of a product, you need 100 influencers, great.
Yeah.
Here's our list, relationships, etc., budget, and we do it across the globe.
All right, Mahdi, look, so you were 17, you started working, you tried a few things, not always successful.
Mm-hmm.
I think you had a bakery that didn't work out, you had a supermarket, and with those things, people, they don't see the tough part. They usually think, oh, he has a nice watch or he has a nice car. While you were launching those businesses and failing, was there a time that you thought, that's it, I'm going to give this all up and do something else?
Yes.
What would take me back to a time that people don't know about?
Oh, God. So COVID, when COVID happened and we went on lockdown for 3 months, was very difficult. As soon as the announcement came out that lockdown there's no longer a lockdown and you can actually go back to your lives, right?
Dubai, the best city in the world.
Yeah. So we were like, great, amazing. I went back and I did a video saying I'm hiring people because many of my team members left me. Because a lot of the youth were jobless, and also at the same time they weren't going to schools or universities because they also didn't have a proper system in place because they were shocked by the news. The next day I had 350 people come down to the office.
What, to apply?
Yeah, to apply.
Wow.
And I had that the moment there, right?
Yeah.
So it worked. We hired, 10, 15, 20 people, and then we went on with their documentation, etc., and we grew. We grew really fast, really quick. That made me launch other businesses because I felt success, but I wasn't patient to.
But take me to that moment. It must have been super tough. Like, how did you deal with the emotion?
Oh,
Of,
it
like,
was so overwhelming. And at the same man, it was crazy what was happening. But I just kept going because I'm like, okay, sales is happening. This is happening. I'm seeing things around me. Things are growing, coming to fruition. Everything is working good. And then I didn't realize that, okay, maybe I need to stay grounded a little bit. Take a step back, take a deep breath in, because more money, more problems. More success, more problems. It's not like, oh, success, and then boom, 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 everything happens. So I didn't have experience. I wasn't as experienced as I am today, as I am right now. And I did mistakes and I failed. I miserably failed. Every business I started failed. But what really messed me up is that because I put money into those businesses and because I sacrificed my time in my main business, which was Trifid, I also lost half of Trifid. And when I had my epiphany and I realized, it's happening, I went back to save Trifid and I managed to save it.
So the mistake was using Trifid's money to invest in these companies, and instead of taking cash from them, you would take investment equity. Trifid now owns percentage in that business, and you spend your time there, and you were away from the main Trifid business, which was bringing the cash in. And the learning there was focus on the cash then. And
focus on what you're good at. Why are you going and starting a bakery and a supermarket and a garage if you know you're successful in media and marketing? I wasn't experienced. And I was, overly excited about the success that was coming in. And the success took over me and my ego grew. And
very entrepreneurial.
Yeah, so...
Because, most people would say, okay, I'll just focus on my thing. But because you have that spirit of trying new things, you just, fine, I'll take equity. I'll help you launch your business. And look, I think you are where you are. Like you said, it is because of these failed experiences. I don't think anyone's born with they put a brand name and then they end up launching and getting where they want with the same name. Even sometimes the name changes in the beginning process.
So it was difficult. And I remember I used to sit in my car and I used to knock on doors for like 10,000 dirhams because I needed to pay back suppliers, people, and almost no one answered my calls, when I needed them most. Almost no one. Few people did here and there, and what I realized is it was very, very tough. It was emotional. I did cry many, many times, and I'm not ashamed of it. But what I realized is there's no one's gonna come save you, but you. So if you're down, if you've fallen, just get back up and go back at it. And I did. And I made changes. I made amendments. That's when the company put me on a salary and did not allow me to touch the money that I'm making.
So owner of a company takes a salary.
And I'm not allowed to take anything else. And this permission was approved by me.
Yeah.
And it definitely helps with...
Stability, right?
Sustainable growth, stability, making sure that you are reaching somewhere with a goal, with a vision. Overnight success is not true. Whoever says that, it is not true. It is not. And easy money come, easy money go. So I've learned that the hard way.
That's great learnings. With all of these little experiences you have. So you once said that you're loud on purpose, that the algorithm rewards someone who's loud. With that in mind, you produced a lot of content. You're very loud as a persona. But behind closed doors, who is Mahdi?
Behind closed, I am what I am on socials. I'm nothing different. I'm the same person. I'm not loud if I'm having a conversation with someone, but first impression is always very important, both behind the camera or in front of the camera. So if I'm meeting someone, I'm loud. I was loud when I greeted you earlier because that's the first impression. Energy speaks for itself, right?
100%.
You can read a person from their energy. Same way on camera, being loud is for my hook to grab an audience's attention as opposed to not being loud. And it works. And even the people that might not like it, it's an opinion, right? Those people come and comment saying, why are you loud? That comment helps the algorithm push my content out more.
I
So
really like your view on it. I mean,
it's not a bad thing. It's an opinion. I always take a step back and I think to myself, am I hurting anyone? Am I damaging anyone? Am I talking about something that I shouldn't be talking? No. And every human has an opinion, and everyone's opinion is respected.
Yeah.
If you don't like something, you can.
but you started Trifid Media from zero, no funding, no 50 million views, and you got to where you are today, and you had key members in your team leave. Do you ever feel like you're building something for someone else to come, train, and then go somewhere else?
Yeah, but I'm benefiting in that period, so why not? Not every marriage is supposed to last. If that was the case, the world wouldn't have been where it is today.
So you're saying it's part of the process?
Yeah, in any company. You bring in 100, 3 stay with you, 97 leave. It is what it is. I can't sit there and expect that I'm going to be married to you for the rest of my life. I can't. And I can't expect them to work more than I am. I can't unless I give them shares. So it's the process. It's the beauty of the beast. It is what it is. I can't change it.
So you spend your time in 3 ways: content, chaos, and clients.
Nice.
They say the average 65% of the founders spends their time doing things that don't scale. You spend a lot of your time in that chaos. Is the chaos the price you pay for the control, or is chaos the addiction?
I like to be in a chaotic environment. And when I say chaotic environment, doesn't mean crazy people. It just means a loud environment. I like it. I enjoy it. I thrive in that environment. I work better in that environment. So maybe you could say that, maybe I wouldn't use the word addicted, but I prefer it as opposed to a quiet, more corporate setting of workplace. So yes, definitely, it is what it is. But I delegate. I delegate almost everything. And I find the gems of people that would work for the company and the companies that we have by risking to delegate as much as I can. And that delegation might come back and punch me in the face, or might be so good that I would never have to worry about that certain task anymore for a very long time.
How long does it take you to get the feeling that you can give someone a task after they join your company and that they won't drop the ball?
It depends on where they're working, which department they're working. But usually between 2 to 6 weeks, I could say I'm very, very involved with the team. I'm very involved. I know what people are doing, who's doing what. We have close to 150, 60 people around the world today that's working.
Awesome.
In Dubai, we have close to 100. A little bit less than 100.
That's amazing.
So I'm very involved with the process. I know who's doing what. And I usually delegate to the individuals that I see that are doing more, that are giving more, that are dedicating more.
Right.
And I usually trust them. I go like, if you're willing to give me 1 step extra, I'm going to be willing to give you 10 steps extra. And usually the delegation that I give are the tasks that are important to me, that make sense for me and are important to me. So when I delegate them, it's not like I'm not delegating, go buy me something from the store, That's not what I call delegation. What I call delegation is actually providing someone and trusting someone to be responsible for XYZ, and if they don't end up being responsible, that's actually going to damage me financially.
Exactly.
And my time.
And I've heard you say before, work hard, work smart to your team. Is that something you really believe in, or do you say to them that?
Yeah, no, work hard, work smart at the same time. Some people I feel like people that say work smart are lazy.
You think they're lazy?
Yes, clearly. Because why not? Why can't you work hard, work smart, and work long?
So what's the difference between working hard and working smart then?
You work hard with 0 distractions. You work smart by finding efficiency, and you work long by dedicating more hours in the day.
Oh, okay.
Three different things. It's not the same thing. And if you do all three, right, then you know what? Elon Musk says this in one of his interviews. He goes like, if I work 16 hours a day, does that mean I have 24 months in 1 year?
What happens if you stop working?
Today, things are gonna go. They might not scale and grow, but they will steadily go. I've built it to that foundation level. And I have individuals in the company
Yeah.
that have authority on certain things and items that it's not only me, even from a payment perspective.
Okay.
So
So,
I-
delegation for people to like sign on your
Correct.
behalf.
Yes, I have. And that, how am I? What if tomorrow I get into an accident and go into a, God forbid, into a position where I can't move or speak or say anything for 3 months?
Exactly.
Does that mean my company is going to fail? I've done all the risk assessments to make sure that the company is in a position that it could ride along without me there for at least 3 to 6 months.
That's amazing. You know, I wanted to ask about something I heard you say actually. You said that you don't trust CVs, you trust people's energy. Can you elaborate on that? And how do you find out someone if their energy is good or not?
Attitude, first impression, the smile on their face. You know, a person's aura speaks. It's so obvious. And if you can't feel a person's aura, then I don't know, maybe it comes with time. I've met so many people, I've worked with so many people, and I have this ability to read someone's aura when I meet them.
And did any of these people break your trust?
Yeah.
And how did you recover from that?
A lot. Many. So much, so many circumstances. How did I recover from it? Nothing. I got back up and I trusted again. Does that mean I just stopped trusting?
You know, I was reading this book by John D. Rockefeller. He wrote to his son. He was actually the richest guy in the world 100 years ago before Elon Musk. And he wrote 38 letters to his son. And in the 38 letters, in one of them, he said, do meaningful work. And he was really focused on his son actually doing work, because he said, if you don't have a purpose with work, he said living a good life means doing good work. If you don't do good work, other parts of your life also won't be so happy. And I was surprised, like, wow, someone who became super rich is telling his son to do meaningful work and keeping money away from him and letting him grow in the same kind of childhood that you grew up, actually, which is a little bit restrained on, you know, what you can have and you can't. So you have like inbred hunger to get things, and it almost becomes okay for you not to get something. So you have like this undeniable energy with you.
I love the journey. I wake up looking forward to going to Trifid, because, and you know what, there is no work-life balance in my life.
No.
I have fun working, so where is the balance?
You know, I wanted to ask you now, with everything that you've built, is there something that you feel money still can't buy you?
Yeah, happiness.
Really?
No, it
so
cannot.
you don't think money equals happiness? Because that's like super common for people to say. Like,
No.
if I got a better car, I would be happy.
No.
If I got a house,
No.
No?
No, I have cars. I have, thank God, alhamdulillah, I have the privileges of doing things that one day I couldn't do because of the money, but it's not necessarily the happiness that you think it is.
What is happiness for you, Mahdi?
At the moment, I don't know. I can't give you an answer, but being able to be alongside my family is giving me more happiness than $100 million that's sitting in my bank account.
And I would imagine you're an entrepreneur that's running a company. That should make you happy to go to work every day, right?
It does.
Yeah.
You know what? I look forward to the journey more than the money. I like it more.
We're going to go, Mahdi, now to a rapid fire round. You
Okay.
can answer in one line, in one sentence. If
That's-
you want to go over, that's also okay. What is something that you used to believe about success?
That it's all free time, vacations, holidays, cars, mansions, what they show you online, right? Or what you consume as data. It's not that. No. Success is being more disciplined. Success is learning how to be consistent. The more successful, the more maturity you have. The more successful, the more you want your circle to be smaller, the more privacy you look for, the more love towards family you want to have, and the more value towards time you need to provide. because the only important commodity to me right now is my time.
Right.
Like that's it. That's the most. And how much of my time I dedicate to the top 5 things in my life is very important to me.
What's a fear you've never said out loud before?
What if I don't become adaptable to change when I'm 50?
What do you want to change when you're 50?
I don't know. Whatever comes up. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. But what if? And I always try to train myself to say, every day something new pops up. So don't be attached. Don't get attached. Don't get attached. Don't get attached. And it's going to help me. But I think it's a very common fear because
To not being able to adapt.
not being able to adapt to change.
Okay. What is something you're still trying to prove, and to who?
To myself, to be a better version of myself every day. Nobody else. I don't prove anything to anyone else. I work for my happiness. If I'm down, I motivate myself. It's for me.
When was the last time you were at peace? Was the vacation? Was it something
No,
someone
I
said?
work. I'm traveling tonight to Australia. I'm gonna work there. I don't have vacations. When was the last time I had peace? You know, I define peace differently. The last time I was at peace was probably 2 hours ago when I was at Trifid. I'm at peace there. I'm happy. I'm subtle. I'm grounded. I know what I'm doing. I know what I want to achieve. I'm happy and at peace when I'm around my team, knowing that they're happy.
Amazing. What is something that if you heard your team say about you, it would break your heart?
He's using us
Okay.
because I do my best every day not to even imply,
Okay.
to show, to make someone think that I'm ever using them for anything. And I think I've done a good job because I don't think anyone would say that. If someone randomly goes into and asks people, "What is Mahdi using you?" I think every one of them would have a different answer to give, which makes me very happy.
All right. Mahdi, thank you so much for showing up today and for sharing your knowledge. You know, what you've done is amazing over the last few years. Really sharing that here is great value for everyone that's listening, you know, that know you and that don't know you as well can learn more about you. If they want to find you, where should they find you?
Everywhere. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube.
Great. And there's a lot of people that got to this point in my podcast. They don't press the subscribe button. What do you have to say to them?
To what, they don't subscribe?
They just watch. They don't press.
Why not subscribe? If you think you've gained value, if you think you've gained some sort of knowledge, support. It's just a click of a button. Why not? And if you don't do it, it's okay. We'll love you anyways. But if you do, we'll just love you a little bit more.
Great stuff. Thank you for showing up, Mahdi.
Pleasure.